The big commercial farmers like Jim Sinclair felt they'd won a reprieve.
It was certainly a very good time for us. We prospered, and we were expanding as we did it.
Did you feel secure?
Absolutely.
We realized that although the European farmers were greedy, arrogant, and stubborn, they had something that we didn't want to lose as a country for our economy to move forward.
But the land issue festered in the minds of blacks. If the best land remained in white hands, what had the war been for? In the early 90s, the government began talking of compulsory purchase. But it was all rhetoric. Nothing happened.
That's what the war was all about. It was about land. Once there's been a delay, then obviously you expect the people to lose patience and think it's best to take things into their own hands.
It's a failure of the government, really.
In a way, yes, one should admit it's a failure of the government to have got it sorted out. We did not plan in time for it.
The war veterans who'd fought in the liberation struggle were growing disillusioned. They could see no sign of the fruits of victory being shared with them. What rankled most was that under the Constitution, the pensions of their old enemies in the Rhodesian army were protected, while they got nothing. Three years ago, they summoned the courage to confront Mugabe in person. It was an uncomfortable meeting for the president.
It was very, very tough talking because we could then say, right, look here. Here is pension for people whom we were fighting. Where is our pension? And then he would say, I couldn't, my hands are tied. And we tell him, how can you be tied your hands when you are the president of this country? He was surprised by that and he had to say, okay, he will give in and put a package for us.
The war veterans now demanded that Mugabe honor their war aims by starting serious land reform. The president drew up a list of white farms which would be taken with only minor compensation. If the whites wanted to be paid, Mugabe said, they should look to Britain, not to the new Zimbabwe. When the farm owners blocked his plan in the courts, the pressure on him intensified.
At each of the ZANU-PF annual conferences, land issue was the most heated debate all the time from 1996, 7, 8, 9. For 4 consecutive years, the government and the party leadership had it difficult to explain at party level why the land was not there and why people were not being settled.
Mugabe's popularity was waning. He held a referendum to allow him to take land without compensation, but the voters ignored the issue and treated the poll as a vote of confidence in his government. Mugabe's defeat encouraged the new opposition party, the MDC, to think they had him on the run. At first, Mugabe took the result in his stride.
Good evening, fellow Zimbabweans. Government accepts the result and respects the will of the people.
It was the first time this government had lost anything politically. It was the first political defeat. It gave people a psychological boost that yes, it can be done.